everyone, so looks like this highly anticipated movie, Supergirl, looks like this movie's review on Rotten Tomato, especially when I look at the audience score, and this movie's box office looks like it's not looking as bad as people thought. Looks like based on the preview for this movie, looks like the interest for this movie is gone up a little bit, which is, I find it, wow, that is really interesting. And I was reading some of the review on Rotten Tomato, and I see like some people did actually enjoy this movie. And of course, when the first review came out for this movie, uh, all the critics really hate it. Like when you listen to them, they're like, this isn't a very well made movie and everything. And but when I read this audience score, sounds like some people did in fact like this movie. Like I'm like, wow, I'm really, really shocked. But based on the early preview, this movie was managed to do little business, like, and the interest for this movie gone up. That is like shocking news. That being said, before this movie came out, of course, there was all this hate channel were making all this video, right? Like this movie is bad and this is bad. Although everybody was like, especially after the Variety interview, Millie Alcock she gave, after that interview, I feel like that is when all this hate videos start coming after her. Like, although whenever this kind of video comes out, it kind of like makes people confused, right? Like, is this movie really bad? All these critics, like all these people are just mad at this. So I feel like this is what happening online, because this is such a controversy around this movie. Looks like this movie, that is the reason I feel like some people are still giving this movie good rating on Rotten Tomato. Although it is still sitting 75%, but end of the day, I feel like shockingly some people are liking this. Despite all the hate online, how is this still liked by people, right? Like, so biggest thing about this, positive thing about this movie is everybody like Millie Alcock, and this movie has Jason Momoa, you know, people like them. Millie Alcock, of course, she's from Game of Thrones prequel, like House of Dragons, so she is known face, you know, although I don't think like she's that much hit actress yet, but I feel like all the things she said about this movie before this movie came out, it was really hurting this movie. But after hearing all the review and reaction, I understand why she was saying all this thing, right? Like she was trying to be defensive. She was trying to defend her career after this movie's flop, right? Like end of the day, this will not be hit at the box office. And one like review I read online, I was really sad by this comment, because you know, a lot of people, like especially DC universe, you know, this end of the day is beloved character Supergirl. She isn't like hated character, right? Whatever Ellie Alker said, that one comment it said, like he really wished this movie was directed by same director who directed Wonder Woman, because you know, DC movie Wonder Woman, it's so good, right? Like people want another Wonder Woman, like, or another type of like Supergirl. Could have been that. Biggest problem with this movie is the script, end of the day, right? Like the script is really bad. Especially this movie looks so bad. Cinematography for this movie is really bad, like the bland looking. Although this movie, it isn't directed by James Gunn. But when you watch it, a lot of people say it is feel like Guardian of the Galaxy version of Supergirl. That's the problem with James Gunn, you know. He's a one-trick pony, you know. He just knows only one type of make movie, right? Like that's all he knows. So this movie, although it is not directed by him, it is directed by Gillespie guy who directed I, Tanya. So personally, I did like I, Tanya. This guy, he did made a good movie, I, Tanya, but you know, I, Tanya is a different type of movie. You don't get this kind of director to direct Supergirl, you know, because a lot of people complaining the first 90 minutes for this movie, there isn't that much action. Like what? Like there isn't much action, nothing much happening. Once again, the biggest problem with this movie, it is the script. The script is really bad. Like a lot of people are saying the movie script is not that good, and yeah, I feel like it's a really missed opportunity. They could have done a lot of stuff with Supergirl, but they didn't because of the James Gunn, the way he think about. A lot of people are calling him pervert. Like, what is going in this movie that people are freaking out. Once again, I do want to say this movie is still sitting quite mixed. Some people are liking this, some people are not, right? Like I personally did like Flash movie. A lot of people did not like. So I guess it depends on your taste. Like, still, I will say this movie's review for now. It looks like a mix. And this movie's box office, it may not be as bad as it seems, because at the end of the day, it looks like it did pick up some interest, right? Like, it was looking, it will be a huge flop, but looks like now it is like getting a little bit more interest than it before. So that's really interesting. I think the word of mouth is really important for this. For now, looks like this movie is getting reviews are really mixed everywhere. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget other videos on other topics. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.